Hello and welcome back. We're on race number 3 of the F1 Manager career with Aston Martin on our quest to take them to some form of glory, and it's Australia up next for us. Let's have a look at what mail we've got in the inbox. A little briefing update on Saudi Arabia, which was disastrous. An upgrade there to sort Lance Stroll's braking out, which is only 67 rated, which actually makes sense now as he had that big crash in the last race where he rear-ended Kevin Magnussen. The team hub is been upgraded, so what perks will that give us? Let's have a quick check of that. First though, board confidence, so 4 months review for myself in the management role. Got some finances for March. Let's see what money we've got left. I mean, overall on the budget, we've got 35 mil left. We gained 3.5 million this month. And in the cost cap, we've still got 95 million remaining to spend. So there's the team hub upgrade. It'll give us a bit more weekly experience gain and some team attractiveness. No advance to morale. As a front wing, our low speed spec front wing has been designed, so we'll have to get into manufacturing that now, and so is the rear wing. So hopefully now in some low speed tracks we'll be able to actually do something. So we'll get manufacturing then front wings and rear wings. Australia Grand Prix is in 4 days time, so we'll just get 1 front and 1 rear manufactured in time. Do 4 of each quantity, especially after we've seen how they like to smash the front wing up. So race prep, let's jump into that. Although I don't think we'll be amending any of the performance targets just yet. You've seen how bad it's been so far, we've got our work cut out, so let's not promise any extra than what is already done. And that front wing, 1 spec available, so we're going to throw that onto Sebastian Vettel's car. We've seen Sebastian as our lead driver. Looks like it will improve some performance at Australia. Australia needs low speed recommended, and crucial is high speed, so both ends of the spectrum needed. So hopefully Sebastian gets a little bit more extra from the car this weekend as we jump into qualifying. We did practice 3 stages of that, and we got 94% confidence from Seb. As we start Seb's first flying lap, we sent him out, same strategy as the last 2 races, got plenty of soft tyres to use, so we'll send Seb out and Lance out to do 1 flying lap, cool down, then another flying lap on the same set of tyres, bring them in, swap them over and send them out at the last minute. So there we go.
Sprinkling of rain.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So Sebastian and Lance set their laps very, very slow behind Danny Ricciardo and McLaren, who is roughly around about where we'd like to be, and we're quite a way off him. But something that's from the curveball out there is the rain's come out. So look at some of them times, and Latifi's slow, but 24 seconds is what he set. Leclerc 7.2 seconds behind Hamilton. But the track is dry now as we go into the last qualifying laps that can be put in. Less than a minute on the clock. We've crossed the line in good time. Sent our 2 guys out, first and second. Look at the big gap you can see there on the map. As Seb sets a sector 1 green. Lance just coming round to finish sector 1 off now. And it's yellow. Lance sets a yellow sector 1. Will Lance improve on that time? That is not the way to do it, but there again, Seb sets a yellow sector 2. What is going wrong here? They've got clear track, clean air. Let's hope the sector 3 is better for Sebastian. I mean, we don't hold the highest of hopes to get out of Q1, but Lance Stroll has set 2 yellow sectors. These are fresh, soft tyres that he's on right now. As Sebastian crosses a line, does he beat the 121.3 that he set on the first runs? He does beat it by half a second, but he's not improved in the slightest. Lance Stroll also just doesn't improve his lap at all. This is going to be tight. Let's see as everyone starts finishing the laps off. They're slowly making their way down the grid. Lance is out. Sebastian is out. Disappointing yet again. Sebastian 17th. Lance 18th. Starting from near enough the back of the grid again.
The time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying, and they're pretty much where everyone expected them to be on the grid. Now, it's up to them to defy expectations during the race itself.
Okay, so we're just setting strategy up now for our two drivers. I'm going to go aggressive with Sebastian. I'm going to go for a two-stopper, soft onto hard, onto medium, but aggressive all the way. Lance going to try a one-stopper and just conserve the tyres all the way and see if he gains some time back due to the pit stop.
I'm not tempting fate here, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. And there's Sebastian Vettel. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. For the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, so we've got Sebastian going aggressive on this first couple of laps. That's what I'm aiming for. Told him to get on the overtake, use that ERS straight off the bat and see how many places he can gain. Lance on the hard tyres and not pushing. He may be susceptible to a couple of... So there we go. Sebastian already gets a place up into P16. But Lance, as I was just saying there, he's on the hard tyres. I can't see many others starting the hard tyres. And he's dropping back just a little bit. Both Williams have overtaken him. But Lance is playing the long game, hopefully. Lance is just going to keep them tyres going. One-stop strategy and see if we can get through these laps. I mean, Latifi overtakes him though. We really don't want to be stuck behind the Williams for too long.
DRS enabled.
So there we go, DRS opens up as we get on to the third lap of the race. Sebastian starting to get closer now to Danny Ricciardo. Hopefully the strategy being aggressive is starting to pay off.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now let's have a look
at this.
It's Lance Stroll.
Lance has got him down the straight finish. Nicely done to take that place back on Latifi. As he takes another one off Albon. So 2 places gained in 2 laps. It's a great drive there.
That's it.
Some positive reinforcement from his engineer. It'll just be what Lance wants to hear. So Sebastian half a second behind Daniel Ricciardo now. On the overtake mode on ERS, look at the little gaggle starting to form in front. Tsunoda, Magnussen and Ricciardo starting to get a little bit detached from the field. Down this home straight could be a good opportunity here as we go into overtake mode.
Use overtake.
Copy.
On board with Sebastian now. He copies that message to use his overtake button. Oh, what? Has he got that move pulled off? What a move on Danny Ricciardo that is. DRS opens up as well. As he just switch. Oh, look at that. A double move. He's took Tsunoda. What a move from Sebastian.
This is good.
So he takes 2 places there from Danny Ricciardo and Tsunoda. He's still got it in the car. It's just the car is not performing.
Moving up the field.
So we gained 2 places there. Now can we kick on? We're 1.3 seconds away from Kevin Magnussen. The downside to this now is that we will not get any DRS. And the teams behind us are still in that DRS train. We're having to conserve the ERS. We've been defending. We're in defence mode on deployment. The battery's slowly disappearing, having to move to defence mode again. As a gap to Magnussen's opening up, so it looks like 14th is where we're at, unless anything happens, such as a safety car or rain comes into play. As Yuki Tsunoda gets past.
Still a lot to play for. Save fuel.
Okay.
Yuki Tsunoda gets past, and we just don't have
That's a position gain
the
for
battery
AlphaTauri.
to fight that move. And now Danny Ricciardo's going to try one. It's on the outside, still just keeping the place for the moment. We'll plant the car in the middle of the track. Danny Ricciardo backs out of that one.
Rears are hot.
Yeah.
So this is going to come into play now. The tyres are starting to creep up in temperature. 60% degradation. We'll have 3 laps to go until our initial pit window to swap and get aggressive on the mediums, I think it is, or the hards. Sebastian just a little bit of weaving there, keeping the tyres cool off the racing line. Defending against Danny Ricciardo. Actually creeping back up to Yuki Tsunoda, so this is a problem with this section of cars. All 3 of them can't pull away from each other. Look at the gap towards Tsunoda and Magnussen, which is 3.5 seconds. As Seb makes a move, what a move that is. We're having to harvest the battery now. Can we gain some so that we can use it later in the lap to defend? Is Yuki Tsunoda going to take that one lying down?
This is good.
There we go. We switch to the defend
Martin with
mode.
a great play there. They've moved up.
So we're just checking the weather here. Doesn't look like there's any rain forecast, which normally can happen in Australia. So no rain forecast, which means we're going to have to stick to the original pit plan unless a safety car comes out. You can see the tyre is going to evolve, the track's going to evolve over the time, and the tyre's going to come into play. We're on lap 10 now. Sebastian loses that place. We're having to harvest the battery. We went big on battery use.
Use energy.
Okay, copy.
So they'll go being told to overtake mode. As Yuki Tsunoda tries to get round us, is he going to keep that move, or is Sebastian? That battery comes into good use. As we just prepare ourselves
Save fuel. Save fuel.
to go into the pits. So Sebastian makes his pit on lap 12. And so does Lance Stroll. We jumped all the way to lap 35. Not too much happened in between. And you can see here that Sebastian goes in for his second pit stop on the aggressive strategy. Lance sat in 19th. So the long game just doesn't seem to have worked for him. Out comes Sebastian from his pit. Down in 17th. He's come out in front of Albon and Stroll, who are battling. Got a lot of battery there to use for Sebastian.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
So Albon manages to get round Lance Stroll.
Let's have a look. Now we see the Williams here.
So the Williams has managed to get past both of our cars. We're going to have to call some strategy shots here because we can't be losing out to the Williams. Even if we don't pick up points in the race, we should always be above the Williams. But the problem we've got here is our 2 own cars are now fighting each other. It's letting Alex Albon just creep out a little bit. As Sebastian tries to make amends for that, we're put into overtake mode.
Use overtake.
Copy that.
So hopefully the strategy that I'm going for here is that Sebastian gets past Alex, but at the same time, Stroll uses that slipstream, DRS, slides on past him as well. That is what we're hoping for, a double overtake on this Williams car. Just 14 laps to go in the race. Sebastian looks like he could be getting closer to make a move. Oh, but hold on, Stroll's come through. Stroll. Well, this was not to plan. The 2 Aston Martins were not meant to overtake each other.
Copy.
And now they're back to fighting again, and they're going to lose time to Alex Albon if they carry this on. Sebastian is on fresher tyres, on the more aggressive strategy. He's been leading all race. But him being overtaken there has really just set him back a little bit. What do we do? We can't afford to have the 2 teammates fighting constantly. So start harvesting the battery for Sebastian. Does Lance get past Albon now? Great job. So now can Sebastian do the same? Can Lance hold on?
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Albon's going to try it. We're on lap 47 now. Can Sebastian make this move stick? No, because Alex Albon slides on past Lance Stroll. Not too much of a defence there, to be honest.
I can't. Yeah, it's insane how bad we are.
Oh. So, Lance Stroll.
And there's an overtake
On the team
from
radio,
Williams.
Lance Stroll publicly says the team isn't good enough. The car is not good enough. And whilst he is right, it's not something that the team principal wants to be hearing on the radio. Sebastian is catching him. Lap 48 now. And we made a team decision. Lance Stroll needs to move over. He's holding Sebastian back. So we'll wait till the straight here. And we're going to tell Lance, do not overtake. Move out of the way. Let Sebastian through, as we have to let the Red Bull through there as well. Blue flags for a lap car. So there we go. Team orders yet again into the season. Let Sebastian Vettel through. So now we have to go and overtake that Williams car. 10 laps to catch him. We go all the way to the last lap. It's been back and forth between Vettel and Albon. But here we go. Vettel on the last lap. He gets past him. We're going to harvest that battery.
You've done a good job.
Now we're deploying it. We're going to try and get a jump
energy.
on Albon.
Copy.
Lance Stroll in 19th. Latifi's 23.5 seconds behind, so we definitely stay above Latifi.
Yep.
Let's just get Lance Stroll around the course now and get him back in.
Tires are just not giving me the grip.
Stroll is down to 30% usage.
Copy.
So is Sebastian now.
How many laps am I going to get on these?
With such a big gap, we're just telling Stroll to conserve the tyres and get round. Leclerc crosses the line, Sainz, then Perez. That is your top three. Sebastian has deployed that battery really well. 1.6 seconds. He's jumped on Albon. As he comes around the final couple of corners, without any other hiccups here, we should finish the race. It's P17, P19 for Lance Stroll. It's disappointing at the end of the day, but at least we come above Alex Albon in the Williams. The team claps Sebastian's efforts.
Sebastian Vettel with a comfortable result.
Okay, so here's how the race finishes, and Charles Leclerc comes first home. Then Carlos Sainz, they both gain 2 places on the Red Bulls. Sergio Perez, who comes third, and it's Verstappen in 4th. We come all the way down, 17th and 19th. Lance Stroll loses a place and Vettel keeps his in the driver's standings. That means Charles Leclerc is now leading after 3 races. Ferrari also in the Constructors with a 13-point lead on Red Bull. Was still yet to grab a point. And Lance Stroll picks up a development point after gaining enough experience